What's up, team?
What's going on, guys?
How are we
Well,
doing today? Today was a good day. Today was a very fun day.
certainly a fun day. Certainly a fun day. Ah, man, NVIDIA SPY. NVIDIA partnership with Taiwan Semiconductor.
Oh, you must be liking that one. TSM, moving around
Yeah.
a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I like to fuck around. Who doesn't?
Why not?
All right. So STV tomorrow. Big numbers. Big
Yeah.
numbers tomorrow. Big numbers tomorrow. What are we gonna do?
8:30 a.m. I think so. There's a couple of things that we'd have to think about here with this CPI. It's very important. It's a very, very important CPI because the Fed is going to give a little bit of guidance going after their meeting coming up. So here's what could potentially happen. You have CPI come in lower than expected, and then Powell comes out and says, we're still going to do our 75 basis point hike, but we'll see what happens in the future. Now, the main reason why CPI would come down would be oil, gas, food.
Okay.
Here's the issue, though. If they keep raising rates and then Russia playing all these political chess moves over here, then just decides no more war, will open up the oil pipelines, oil prices come down, and we could go into a little bit of deflation. Elon was talking about it. Kathy Wood was talking about this too. It's like there's a very fine line that the Fed has to kind of deal with here. They're basically playing a game of chicken with oil prices.
Ooh. Chicken with oil prices. Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we're gonna see. Okay, this is really what I'm looking at, right? And particularly with we got this NVIDIA call, and I had in my heart of hearts that we were going to see an afternoon rally, in order for a dump tomorrow, despite what CPI data does. That's what I'm feeling. I think we got a CPI data. I mean, we're gonna have a data beat. We'll have a beat. You know, I mean, so how would the Fed, in your opinion, go ahead and create a narrative for this? I mean, because we don't want them being too dovish, right? We don't want them being too dovish, but then we don't want them to overshoot the runway either, even though we've already sort of kind of like, well, actually, that will be the test of all tests to see if the market has truly priced in 75 basis points based on the data for tomorrow.
Right. So what they could do, and the things that Powell could say is, I think he has to be realistic about it and be like, this is what's going on. It's like oil prices are coming down due to fears over this, this, and this. We've seen this little pullback from the height of oil prices, but it doesn't mean that they can't necessarily skyrocket back up. So I think he's going to do like a lot of what he usually does and come out and say, all right, we're going to read the data as it comes in, specifically relating to oil prices and then how the labor market reacts. Because if you start to see the labor market like soften a little bit and you see more unemployment, okay, so then you're going to have less people in the workforce with less disposable income. But then if oil starts skyrocketing back up again, then inflation really starts to get going. Well, then you're going to have these low growth expectations like the Atlanta Fed has already said. Then you have people with less disposable income with still high prices. What's that called? Stagflation. That's what they're trying to avoid here.
They're trying to avoid stagflation, and that's interesting too because who was that? Treasurer Yellen already talked about winter will be upon us and the possibility of rising energy costs in the winter. Yes. I mean, it really looks like a perfect storm for stagflation, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It does.
I really feel like it is the perfect storm for that. Now, in tomorrow's CPI data, I mean, do you think, well, obviously the Fed, they use core CPI, which doesn't include food and energy because it's like way too volatile.
Right. I had let me see if I can pull this up again. There's a estimate from Credit Suisse that just came out. Let me see if I can pull this back up. Where they were talking about some of these expectations. Let me get this right here. So Their CPI August forecast month over month is negative 0.2%. Their year over year is 7.9. So they cracked below 8, which is kind of what I was looking for. I was kind of hoping that the expectation would still be in the 8s. Then it came in the 7s just for a little bit of a beat. But excluding food and energy month over month, they actually see it increasing by 0.2 and 6% year over year.
6% year over year. Woo!
So you
Okay.
don't get that decrease. So that'll be what the comparison is. It's like, okay, excluding food and energy prices, which if you look at food data, it's come down a little bit. If you look at gas and oil, those have also come down a little bit. So excluding that, what are the actual like inflationary pressures in the market? That's what I think the market could really focus in on. But again, the initial move is just going to be based off of like, okay, well, what is the Fed going to do about this? Because what tomorrow is going to bring us is an idea of what Powell could potentially say. I don't think the 75 versus 50 basis point hike matters at all.
No, I don't
70,
think
50, they're going to keep raising rates until they get to the target. As long as they keep continuing to go.
The target's 4, correct?
It's around 4, I think, right now for the beginning of 23.
All right. So a 75 basis point hike as of right now, coming in September, then puts us one more rate hike increase pretty much away. I mean, we're away from that target.
Yeah, one more 75, which I think, yeah, so the target is going to be 3% to 3.25. So to get to 4, you really only need one more 75. I personally think this is probably the last 75 that we're going to get, because then you go October, and I believe November we get one, because there's no October.
All right. So, I mean, we got holiday season. Do you think
in midterms?
Holidays and midterms. Ooh. Well, obviously, you don't want to put a damper on the holiday season, right? There's a lot of economic activity happening during the holiday season, right?
Exactly. Somebody needs to make some money somehow. Cross up print.
All right. So, Short to Fix, what was your play of the day today, man?
Natural gas, man. UNG. I was hunting. So this morning in the live stream that we were doing, we were talking about a little bit of like renewable energy plays, solar. I was looking at like kind of natural gas and seeing like, okay, well, it's sold off a decent amount. Oil was up a decent amount this morning too. I believe it was in the over 1%, but natural gas was red. So then all of a sudden, when market starts to open, you see natural gas starting to tick back up. And then UNG gets this picture perfect cross back to the upside, and then just runs right back up.
Share your screen. Share your screen. So
I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this one up here. Let me make this one. Let's see. This one is just filthy.
Yeah. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring that screen up, and let's do it.
So if you're looking at this right here, well, the cross happens right on these two candles right here when natural gas is right around 28. Now, the way that we look at this is, okay, you see this big candle up, you're green right away. Nice little trade right there right away. I was trading the 28 weeklies. We have a little bit of time on them.
Okay.
It like basically in the money as I was getting them over here. And then I just rode it up, slowly took profit on the way up when we would see like a little bit of stuttering, like around here, I was ditching some contracts at like 15, 16%. And these ended up running all the way up to 45%. I put that screenshot out on Twitter and on my Instagram. And I was like, I mean, these crosses are filthy, man, especially if you can kind of tie in some of the other aspects of what's going on in the market. It's like, if you start to see these things start to bounce back up, they could start to get a little spicy to the upside.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it.
Oh, you know what else I did too?
What?
You know those nasty spy candles to the downside today?
Oh, yeah.
I was all over those.
Well, I happen to be all over the nasty NVIDIA dumps all day.
Ooh.
Yes.
I like that.
Get into the chart. Guys, let's go ahead and break it down, right? So let's talk about NVIDIA dumps here, right? You get your call signal here. You get your rejection here, right? That's your resistance. You get some massive consolidation, and then you get a break, right? And we were talking about this in a live stream on how when you get moves like this, you have to play the levels and you have to get off the train. You get off the
Hmm.
train and then you jump back on the ride. Okay. Whenever you see price action, especially approaching the 200 EMA, I think it should be fair rule or just an unspoken rule to get out.
I do that with Invictus all of the time. If I'm taking like puts on an Invictus trade and it's above the 200 EMA,
Yeah.
my target is either a key level of support or the 200 in order to, I mean, usually I don't sell the whole position then, but I will definitely be taking money off the table once it gets down to that 200. And then it's all about seeing what happens after that. If it bounces, okay, take the rest of it. If it wants to sell through, well, then you still have a little bit of exposure left on the trade if it's going to continue.
Absolutely, absolutely. But one of the indications here that you would have a continuation, guys, I want to show you guys the anatomy of a continuation, especially as we're coming down through the 200 EMA, right? And that is that by this candle here at 10:45, you see that the RSI breaks through. Now, once we get this put signal here, we also get that transfer in power from bullish momentum to bearish momentum. This here gives us that clue that there is momentum to break below that 200 EMA. Even
Mm-hmm.
though you should be taking profit at the 200 EMA and or taking half off the table or just going ahead and re-entering when you get confirmation that this candle breaks. Now we have another level of support here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that we always talk about like taking profits when she's giving you more than you deserve. So when price action is breaking below the 200 EMA like that, and this is violent. This isn't like, like if you look at this here, this is a gradual rise up to the 200. This is volatility at its finest, right? This is beautiful. This is violent.
Yeah.
So when the stock gives you more than you deserve, you have to have that expectation that I'm going to exit my position here. And this would be your levels. Now, this level was printed, if you guys remember on the stream, where I went ahead and printed this level. Let's go ahead and clear it out for you. But why did I print this level on NVIDIA? Why was this level there? Well, that level was there thanks to key support and resistance. And I might have,
I think you deleted it. Do
yeah,
the top right. So in the top right next to main chart, there's a little like a undo button left of that. Left of that, there's a little back button. You should do, yeah,
yeah,
one more.
there we go.
One
There we
more.
go. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
So I accidentally deleted that. There you go. Sorry, guys. I got old eyes. I can't really see all that great.
Hey, it's your birthday coming up.
Yeah, I'll be 41. Like honestly, before we start these streams, I have to wear my glasses so I could see everything. My glasses
Uh,
off.
you made a really good point here, though, when we're looking at this NVIDIA chart right here. This is why we harp on all of the other aspects of trading, too. If you just start willy-nilly chasing every single cross that you see without any other context, you're going to struggle. If you're getting into a trade, you need to know, okay, this is where the trade's probably wrong, and this is where I'm targeting the trade to go. So in that NVIDIA example, you have the 200 EMA sitting right there, which also coincides. If you look at the pre-market level that's printed, it's right there too. Then if you see it start to slip right back down below that, you've already taken a little bit of money off of the table. So
Yes.
knowing all of those other things, that's why we teach all of you guys this stuff. That's why we make these curriculum videos for you guys to make sure that, well, yeah, we're talking about every other aspect of trading too, with the core being 1348. And then you
Yes.
just throw Invictus and Pythagoras in, and then it just becomes an absolute monster.
All right, we need to talk to Abe Scrotus here. This is actually a great learning opportunity here, in particular with 1348 and this call right here. Now, technically, Nvidia is still in a call, but if you chase this candle, if you happen to chase this candle, there was a level right here, and that was something that you had to expect, and that level showed itself here in pre-market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a couple of things to also acknowledge that while you got that boom boom candle right here, right? While you got that boom boom candle here, ADX is at 1492, showing that that move is weak.
Mm-hmm.
That move is weak. Now, if for instance you got this green candle while ADX was already in the 20s and you see this mound building, you can see price action follows that mound, right? But this candle here, no, 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 no. The ADX ultimately can help you avoid that fake out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could,
The other thing we got to think about too is, well, what time of the day is it right now, and what do we have giving us context in the market? Well, we have CPI data coming out tomorrow. We've seen overall volatility already so far in the market today. Is
yes.
there going to be another big buyer across the market, across a lot of different stocks coming in to make big moves? Well, it could start in a little bit, but at like right now, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to start entering trades in my mind at this point in the day.
Nope, 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 nope. I do not see any reason to enter any kind of trades unless we're getting indicators. This is where trade 1348, the most basic rule, the
Mhm.
most basic rule is play the cross and play the cross when you see them. But just because you see the cross, you always have to look at your levels, right?
Mhm.
So just because you saw a cross and you saw a boom boom candle, if you saw the level and you saw the ADX, then you would know better not to chase. And then this actually plays into also Invictus. Now, Invictus has some logic built in. Obviously, we can't share the secret sauce. But Invictus is actually doing a great job in indicating whether ADX is weak or strong. Good
Mhm.
job, Invictus. The thing is that when Invictus comes in and tells you, hey, enter here, you still have the responsibility to look at that chart and say, okay, well, Invictus didn't see this level right here. So let me be extra cautious. Okay. So not all calls and not all puts are created equal, but they're all, for the most part, profitable. You just have to understand. You have to curb your expectation for where you are on the chart. So again, we have this here on this chart. We could curb our expectation to say, okay, well, we do have a call, but we already got this boom boom candle and we have that level right there. So I'm not going to chase it. You see what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
like how would you break that down, SGB?
The Nvidia one, at this point in the day with CPI coming out, I just probably wouldn't touch it. Like, and you also have to think about this. The news about chip makers today was not good. It was more China nonsense. There's not really anything coming out from these chip makers that would signify to me, yeah, let's start going towards the bullish side with these. It just, in my mind, doesn't make sense. Like, there's a lot of other factors here that would be like, yeah, this is probably not the best time to be getting like playing calls on the chips.
I mean, yes, yes, and there we go. Now we got to put signal.
I'm still either way, I'm still probably not touching it. It's like, all right, at this point in the day, it's like, all right, well, let's see what we're gonna get across the market. There's not, if you look at the SPY, it's basically flatlined for like the past 35, 40 minutes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I actually want to answer this question. I find this like really, really, really interesting, right? So, rundown on a perfect setup. There's really no perfect setup. There's such things as high quality setups, and those high quality setups are derived from the rules. Price action below the 200 EMA, where buy is
Mhm.
to puts. RSI below 50 is in a downward trend. MACD printing red on the histogram with the MACD and the signal line trending down on the histogram. That's what we want. And whatever trend we're in, we want to see some strength in the ADX. Now,
Mhm.
the thing is that trading's a lot like football. You have the perfect play, but at the end of the day, you still need to make your reads. You still have to go through your progressions, right? And it's a moving target. It's dynamic. But when you're familiar with your own play, with reading your progressions, you can consistently just move the markers. And that's the whole thing, right? You're not going to have, a 50-yard Hail Mary every single time. You could play the San Francisco West Coast offense. Back in the 80s, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Dave Taylor, they made it popular. It was, it was just a dump, 5-yard dumps, quick strikes. And they were
Mhm.
moving to change. They were moving to change. And that's what we have with 1348 is that you guys will see that as long as you respect the indicators and understand what these indicators are telling you, You can play it for, you can potentially play for a Hail Mary with Pythagoras on a daily, right? Or you can play for those 5 yard moves and just keep moving the chain. That is it. Respecting your levels has a big thing to do with it. A
Mm-hmm.
very big thing.
I tweeted this out this weekend. Like football's a good analogy too. I think trading is very similar to golf. It's like you have a plan going in. You're like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. The moment you try to drive the green, you know what happens? Shank. Just take out the damn 4-iron, put it in the fairway, and score. Just keep it simple. No need to swing for these home runs because the risk reward just isn't there most of the time. Sometimes you'll hit it. Sometimes, hey, maybe you'll even hit a hole in one on a par 4. But is that a likely thing that's going to happen? No.
No. I think that's a good analogy. Another analogy is, I mean, unless you're Curry from Golden State, I mean, you're probably wanting to get the high percentage shot, which is the
Mm-hmm.
layup, right? And
Exactly.
you can shoot from behind the arc, but your percentages go down a little bit, right? So what we're looking for is not the perfect setup, but more importantly, high probability plays, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So for instance, that call with NVIDIA, that was a high probability play if you had the expectation that it was going to hit a level of resistance. You were in and you were out. Boom, boom. Right. But you would have had to have that expectation with NVIDIA as we look at the chart here. This call, like I'm in, I'm out. If you missed a boom boom candle, you probably would have said, no, I'm not doing it, right? Because the next candle that printed, well, that's a reversal candle right there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
STV, what do we call that candle there, buddy?
Shark fin.
And we get the reversal, and then we get the put here, and ultimately, what we're seeing is massive consolidation around the 200 EMA right here.
Yeah.
Right. And that's literally what we're seeing. Again, it's all about high probability plays. That's it, guys. That is it. So let's see here.
I
What
think
about,
once
go ahead.
what's up? I think once we start to get more of an indication of where we're headed in terms of guidance from the Fed, I think we're going to be in a different spot with the market. We'll start to see it trending again. I think we talked about this when because we were talking about what was going on in the derivatives market for SPY.
Yeah.
It flipped. So we had all of that hedging coming in. We had all of this short interest coming in when we were starting to break 400, coming down to 390. There was a big potential for a gamma in both ways in the market. And what did we say? The market is like this. It's teetering. It gets pushed in one direction and it's going to snowball. That's what we saw off of 390. And what happened is that the market's now switched to being overall positive delta. So now the hedging's the other way. Or no, the hedging's actually the other. So it was short hedging. Now it's like they're going long in order to hedge a lot of these things. So you could see a little bit of a bounce in the market. But again, it can always happen in the other way too. But
Okay.
that is a very interesting thing that's happened where they flipped it. And that's a lot of money flowing in and out.
A lot of money flowing in and out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if you were to take a side right now, right, after CPI data, where are we going?
In what time frame? Because I think it's different based on what time frame we're looking at. Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 4 months?
30 days from now.
That's a tough one. With CPI and what Powell can say, I think we bounce a little bit. We have that 416, 420 level. There is a nice little downtrend that you're seeing on the SPY here too, that you could come up and test that trend. Which I think right now is right around 420, 425. But as we start chugging along, I think it'll end around 416 is what we can see.
You guys see that there, right? 416 on
There
the
it
200.
is.
There you go. I think that's possible. What you're also seeing is that shift from bearish to bullish right here. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
On the from bearish to bullish, RSI crossed above its moving average, and it's trending above 50. MACD again crossing into bullish momentum, right? And then the ADX would like to see that start peaking and getting working its way up into the 20s.
Yep.
That happens on the daily. Absolutely. 416 is definitely doable. In fact, we also have a potential cross up with the 13 EMA on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have this level right here. This 410 level has been a very strong level.
Yeah.
Woo! A very, very strong level. Uh, let's see here. Let's see.
Yeah. Pythagoras has also been shifting a little bit. He's got a little bit of a mixed portfolio right now.
Pythagoras.
Yeah, he also loves oil. Pythagoras loves messing around with oil. If you look through some of the positions that he takes, it's like oil stock, oil. He loves them because they're just so volatile. They're so volatile. They'll move up and down, start trending all over the place, and he'll just make a bunch of money with them.
Pythagoras is a crazy person.
Oh yeah, I love that thing. I love playing with Pythagoras. It's like almost trading like with an institution. It's like, all right, we know where they're going.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Legendary made note here says Pythagoras is going from shorts to longs.
Yeah.
I want to highlight something with Pythagoras. We're going to get Spy on over to the daily, and let's see, right there we have that chart. For anyone watching, we got receipts. We got receipts, but we have Pythagoras shifting right around these dates here. The
Yeah.
15th and 16th and starting to take short positions. We have receipts on this.
When he started, dude, oh my god, he did it. So there was like a 3-day period where the market was just not like you can see it right there, or a 2-day period where it starts flying around and then makes those lows. Pythagoras was already in before everybody.
Everybody.
It was filthy.
Very filthy.
He
So
caught, and then the best, I think the craziest one that we saw was when Bed Bath and Beyond went on its big run up recently before when the kid made $100 million. Pythagoras was in that play like a week and a half before anybody was talking about Bed Bath and Beyond. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then that thing just goes on a moon mission to the upside. I was like, well, Pythagoras has spoken.
Pythagoras has spoken. Guys, we want you to check out the links down in the description. Go ahead and check that out. We got some very, very exciting things happening over the next 30 days, which you don't want to miss out. I would damn near say that what we have in store over the next 30 days, what's an eloquent way to say it? It drops the mic. It just drops the mic. It's just game over at that point. Like done and done and done. Actually, Algo, while you're here, yeah, you were texting me at fucking 10 o'clock last night, telling me about additional layers of logic. So Algo, I want everybody to give Algo a round of applause, please, if you will. Algo is like fucking 7-Eleven. He just never closes.
You could have gone such a different way with that. 7-Eleven's great.
I mean, 7-Eleven's great. I mean, I could have got. I'm trying to go PG.
Okay, fair.
I'm trying to be a little more Disneyland right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I can make this go as sideways as you want me to. Right. But this community is very, very lucky and very, very blessed to have the likes of Algo on our side, and also the Ivans and the Andys, and of course we got SGV here, just giving you guys the breakdown, the news, and the catalyst, and how that gets interpreted on the chart. Now, see, here's the thing with 1348. What's really, really interesting is that with 1348.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you just froze for a second on my end. I don't know if they could hear you, but you froze on my end.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I like to think about Algo. If anybody knows who Jim Simons is of Renaissance Technologies, Algo is the modern day Jim Simons.
That's a compliment.
Algo didn't even know who he was when I like said it, and he was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Come on, I feel like this would be your hero."
No, Alco's hero is Mr. Flashlight.
Fair, fair.
Got him.
Man,
Got
dude, this market's gonna be so fun over the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be Print City. The volatility is not going anywhere. This is these types of markets where you see a lot of news, a lot of people watching certain things, a lot of fear coming in, a lot of uncertainty, things going left and right. That is absolutely perfect for the things that we do, like that any trader is doing at this time. It is so perfect for trading.
It is so perfect for trading, but I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really excited for October. October happens to be like a great month for trading.
It's gonna be
And
spooky.
I think it's going to be a great month. I think
I
we're
think
going
so
to see
too.
the market rally a little bit in October. I think so.
We could. We could. We got midterms coming up. That's going to be another thing we got to start talking about. How does the market react to these midterm elections, and what happens after?
You know, what we've learned about the market the past 8 months, the market's saying we don't care.
The market's like just land the thing. Soft landing, hard landing, don't care. Just land.
That's it. That's it. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, guys. That's going to conclude this live stream. If you're not in a trade, don't get in one, please.
Be careful today. You're probably going to see a lot of chop going into the end of the day.
You're going to see a lot of chop going into the end of the day. And yeah, unless you're ready to play that aggressively, don't even bother doing it. Don't even bother doing
Stack
it.
up those base hits.
That's it. That is it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be wrapping things up. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day. So we're doing a lot.
Tomorrow, we get to recap CPI, and then we can break that entire thing down.
Yes, yes, yes. What I want to do moving forward is Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, Trade 1348 live streams here on Trade 1348. And these will be public.
Mhm.
But then we can do Wednesdays and Fridays private live streams where you and I can just go ahead and go back to our old selves because we used to have a lot of fun back then.
We did have a lot of fun. We gonna be able to let it fly.
Yeah, let's let it fly. There's nothing like printing and letting it fly at the same time. Like, you know, if you're not having fun, then what are you doing? So,
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time. And then we got our live stream tonight with everybody. So get ready for that. We'll prepare you guys again for tomorrow.
absolutely. Yeah, but we'll get a nice picture of what's going to happen tomorrow. We'll start seeing it happen after market, after hours, and then futures, and then yeah, I think we're in for a bullish week. Just my opinion.
Ooh, here we go.
All right, guys. Peace out.